Welcome to the channel. Yamaha XLT 800 rebuild part 1, engine removal. In the last video I decided that I needed to pull both of these engines out. I've got that one out, one of them out, and I'm going to show you how I'm pulling the other one out. Enjoy. I'm going to pull all these hoses off, pull this exhaust off. Oops, I lost the hose clamp. Alright, I'll pull these off. All my parts I'm putting in this back container that I'm pulling out of the engine right here. And then all the parts that I pull off the engine, I'll leave them in the shop so I don't get the two mixed up. Hose right here. That for a grease zerk that greases your bearing. Any of these parts that I can put the bolts back in, I'm putting them back in. Like this sensor, this temperature sensor. Put it back in. Move it out of the way. I'll put the bolts back in, or whatever that sensor is. That's loose. I need to loosen these. 4 12 millimeter. There's 5 bolts on this. There's one in the back. What is that, a 10? Yeah. Man, little dude was a squirrel. You just have to work these around. They slide out through a notch. Just like that, pretty easy. Set that to the side. Make sure this is going reverse. And there's one in the back too. And then right here, these right here need to come out. These 2 head bolts need to come out. Because there's a bracket, I don't know if you can see that. There's a bracket right there. And then I got a bolt back here. One more bolt for that. Probably have to, let's extend this out. That's a different size, guys. That's a 10. Very interesting. I can't show you because I can't see it myself, but there you go. Now, these two need to come out. What is that, 14? Pop these spark plugs, I guess. 14, we'll do 14. Just gonna loosen these. You guys can do it how you want. I'm not using these engine hooks to pull it out. We'll go like that, and then we'll do it like this. I'll show you. 14. Right, now what? Is that disconnected, guys? I split it right here. Oh, there's 2 bolts down here. I forget. 2 12s. Don't do that. Don't drop your deal. I've been doing that a bunch, so I got this. Give it the old college try. There we go. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. You guys. All right. Oh, I got that one too. See that one down there, guys? 14. All right. Let's break that apart. There's another bolt. Let me get this other bolt behind. See that bracket? You guys see that bracket right there? That needs to come out. I guess. I didn't want to do it like that, but whatever. Try a 12 and a little extension. Ooh, that's a 14, guys. maybe a 13. Yep, 14. Okay, I just want to loosen that up. All right, let's pull this out. Got to get that rubber grommet off. Maybe loosen that a little more. All right, that's loosened up, that piece. I think I need to remove that bolt too. I didn't do it on the other one, but I think it'll make it easier. Whoa. I'm using 1/4 inch stuff because I like it. That's trash. Loosen that up. I really need to get that off. Maybe not. All right, I think we're good. I think we're clear of it. Let's pull this out. All right, guys. Set that right there. Uh-oh, lost something. Oh, here's a hose clamp. Now what? Break time. I mark the fuel line. This is the return line. This is the supply. I just mark them so I know. Looks like it's got a fuel pump, so I'm not too worried about it pumping out. Maybe I should put it up. What else? I've got this hose right here. There's 2 oil hoses. There's one in the bottom. I can't see it, so we'll cut it off, pull it off, cut that little zip tie, pull it off. I know that'll run out. That oil line will drain your oil tank. Okay. And let's put it right like this. All right. Hopefully that'll stay up there. And we got this oil line. It goes up there. I'll just cut it off right here. Cut it off right there. I think that's a supply line or return line for the oil. 2 fuel lines, 2 oil lines, a throttle, a choke, a carburetor cover. We'll pull that carburetor cover off. 2 bolts up here and then 4 bolts on the carburetor cover. And I'm just throwing it in there. You know, everything that's coming out at this part, I'm just throwing it in the little container there so I know. Okay, all these parts need to go back in after I put the engine in, and then all the engine parts I'll separate in the shop. Sweat rag, man, it's humid out today. I'm sweating. Probably good for you. These tabs open up and it pops out. Oh, there's 2 in the bottom. 6 clips that need to move over before you can pop them out. Oh, and there's 3 bolts. There's another bolt right there, guys. All this stuff's blind, so you can't really see. Cover, these just snap. These have a little snap. And I pull this off too, this carburetor cover. 4 bolts, all blind. 10mm. I need an electric ratchet wrench. If you guys know of a good one, let me know. All my stuff's DeWalt. I would have bought a DeWalt one if they made one. The battery system I think's different on them, so I don't think it matters which one I buy, but it'd be nice to have one, a DeWalt one. You know? I try to use a 1/4" ratchet on this just because I like it smaller. Some of the bigger bolts I need a 1/2 inch, but there we go. There's that. Can you guys see that? We'll loosen this throttle cable. That's the choke cable. You can't get them confused. See that? That's the choke. And then this just spins around and comes down. Typically I'll do the easiest to get to side on loosening these. So in this case, it's the outside. I can get to that nut easy. I won't have to adjust them. This is another blind deal. All right. Throttle linkages. We've got the stator wires, which I'm gonna cut, don't look. We got the start wire, the starter wire, the negative wire, and 4 engine mounts, and then this little shroud. You guys see that little shroud? You guys see that little shroud right there? No. That little shroud's got to come out. It's got 1 bolt. It just protects the wiring. Snaps out of there. Little cover. What now, guys? Break out the big gun with a little battery. Okay. Leave your shims in there. Like this. This shim goes right here. Works good with the impact. There's 4 shims on this thing. I'm just setting the shims where they go. They're probably different thicknesses. I got 1 more. There's 4 engine mounts. Always that one doesn't like to go. Get it. I'll put the shims up so I know which shims go where, and I will slide this out right like that. So everything's detached. I need to detach the starter cables, positive, the negative, and then the magneto wires. Spins freely. I don't feel any play in the bearings. Maybe a little bit. Alright, let's get this water hose taken off. What size is that? That's a 7, probably 6. That water hose. We'll pull it. See that you guys see the starter. Which one? Should I just do them both? No, just some negative. So the negative's disconnected. I got to disconnect the positive. Alright, I'm going to do something. This harness right here, I'm going to cut. and then tie it back together. So I don't have to mess with the wiring. You can get in here. Some of them have all quick disconnects, but this one doesn't. In that little junction box, this one doesn't. At least the other one didn't. So I'm not going to mess with them. Cut it. And there's 2 green wires. I'm going to cut one up high and one down low, so I know where they go. That's not best practice. And here's my pull the battery terminal. That's the battery terminal. Double check. I think I'm free. That's it. Let's pull this thing out. Oh, grab this. Those dogs are annoying, huh? Yeah. Lift it out. There you go. All right, there's the hole in the crankcase. You guys see that hole? Right there. See that piston? That's why it wasn't developing compression. I'll need a... Now, here's the 2 motors. If you look, you have this one is new and that one is new. So we'll take this jug, this crankcase, and all the good components, and we'll make one unit. That's it on the video. Yamaha XLT 800 engine removal. Viewer requested, so that's how I did it. Probably getting the electronics out a different way without cutting them would be a better option, but you can splice them back whenever we get done and call it good.